What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sports topic, and today we're going to talk some football, Houston Texans football. You know it's the NFL draft, and what other way to talk NFL draft than talking with Saw Sports? Houston Texans original roundtable, off the imitate, never duplicate. But who we got in the building today, man?
Man, you got your boy Third Coast Sports TV. When in the building, we just dropped some stuff on the sauce. Make sure that y'all go ahead and check that. Subscribe to my boy Spitz. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's go ahead and get it.
You got your boy Wise on here. Salute to my brother Spitz. Salutes to my brother Wink. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's gonna be a very interesting video today.
Oh, interesting indeed. Very interesting. But like I said, hey, man, make sure you check out them other videos on the Sauce channel because, you know, hey, we ain't went nowhere. We still here. You already know what it is. So the NFL draft is right around the corner. And, you know, we got the head coach. We got D'Amico in place. So because of that, people have been saying that maybe we shouldn't go quarterback at number 2. Maybe take Willie Anderson or Jalen Carter's and then go and dip into possibly getting AR-15 at 12. So let's talk about this. Let's break down. Let's talk about exactly what do we think AR-15 could possibly bring to the table. Wink, let me hear what you got to say about AR-15 bringing to the table.
Man, he bringing all kind of stuff to the table, man. Physical ability, you know, the knack to be able to make plays. He has an arm. Not that it can't be developed a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, but just escapability. He does protect himself to be a bigger guy, you know, just not taking like a whole bunch of hits similar like a Cam Newton or Michael Vick, you know, really putting himself at risk like a RG3. I think he has all the skill set, and I think at the NFL level, he's going to have, a lot better options to be able to throw to, not having like a real serious tight end. In Florida hasn't had receivers in forever. Like the last great receiver that they had was Percy Harvin. You know what I'm saying? When they having guys like Aaron Hernandez and people like that, like they haven't had one of the most legitimate offenses in the league in the SEC, and I don't know how long. But they have had some players, shout out to Dameon Pierce, Kadarius Toney recently, and I think that they're going to be able to still have some more talent in the future. But as far as Anthony Richardson himself, like, man, the man is a physical specimen, fantastic release. He can put the ball down the field. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he'll probably be in a situation where he'll be able to sit for like a year or so, which I think will be able to aid him in his development. He's already working very, very, very hard, prior to the Senior Bowl, and we've seen all the clips of him on Twitter and things of that nature, and it's just everything that you're seeing him doing. It's just like, wow, man, he's going to be a fantastic prospect coming up. I understand that he's a little raw in some areas, but I think with the right people, with the right organization, he'll be able to do it. But then some people just like to work hard on their own, and you can see Anthony Richardson doing that, without other people having to motivate him. And those are the type of players who always excel at the next level. So I definitely love his talent.
Now, Wise, I know that you like AR-15. Like I said, if y'all haven't got a chance, make sure you go check out the quarterback video that we did on the Sauce channel, and y'all understand why I'm going with that one. But Wise, people might say that AR is a project at the quarterback position. For those people who believe like that, what do you think?
To be honest, I had to agree with them. I mean, he is a project. When we really look at it, I mean, the kid was a sophomore coming out of college. I mean, we all agreed that he needed to stay another year in college.
Yeah.
I was actually shocked that he declared for the draft. And if he came to the Houston Texans, I mean, if that was a possibility for us, for some reason, at the draft position of 12, I mean, I feel like that would be a steal, but he would have to definitely sit behind a veteran for a year. And that would make us have to go get a guy. I don't know if we traded for a guy like Jordan Love, traded for a guy just in case Rodgers stayed with Green Bay for some reason, or if we traded for a guy like Trey Lance, even though a lot of people don't want Trey Lance. We can see a third-round pick for Trey Lance. We see what we got, and then we throw in AR-15s the year after that. I mean, any situation like that, it doesn't matter. It could be it don't matter what veteran quarterback it is, as long as it's not Derek Carr, as long as it's not Jimmy Garoppolo, it really doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. But when it comes to Anthony Richardson, like I said in the last video, bro, he could be my number one quarterback at the end of the day. He could be one of the best quarterbacks we've seen in the last 3 years. Like I said, since Joey Burrows to come out, he has the physical specimens. I mean, when you look at it, man, the man got the talent. He got the arm. Like, I seen a video of him yesterday, bro. With the flick of a wrist, bro, with no effort, he was able to throw the ball 70 to 80 yards in that video, bro. I kid you not. And that was something I was seeing when I seen Patty Mahomes coming out of Texas Tech. When I was looking at Patrick Mahomes, at first, a lot of people had him coming out, and they had him ranked at pick 25 because the Texans were supposed to draft him in most mock drafts until Bill O'Brien came out with his big mouth and was like, oh, yes. And no, actually, Patty Mahomes came out with his big mouth and said, oh, yes, Bill O'Brien really liked me. Oh, yes, I'm going to be a Texan, this and that. Until he said that, that's when he shot up the boards, and that kind of ruined the whole situation. We could have had a Hall of Fame quarterback right now. We wouldn't be in this situation. But when I looked at Patty Mahomes' film coming out, yeah, he was at Texas Tech. Yeah, they didn't win a lot of games at Texas Tech at the time. Yeah, they went to bowl games. Yeah, they did go to bowl games. I'll give them that. But they wasn't competing for a championship. They wasn't competing for the Rose Bowl or anything like that. And he had an arm, bro. When I looked at his film, I'm like, this kid got an arm. This kid can throw it far. And he not only can he throw it far, he can throw it accurately, bro. When I see guys like that, that was the one thing we also said about Josh Allen. When I seen Josh Allen coming out of college, we didn't like him as a prospect because he went to Wyoming and this and that. But we did say one thing. He had a big arm, bruh. He had a big arm. He had an accurate arm, bruh. And if you got a big arm, you got an accurate arm, that can get you somewhere in the NFL these days, bruh. And what I seen against, and when you really look at his season, this was his first season starting. And like I said in the last video, he didn't have a lot of talent around him at Florida this year. You can't name nobody other than Trevor Etienne at running back on that Florida offense. Can you wink? Can you spits? No, you can't. And at the end of the day, his best game,
no talent.
Yeah, his best game this year was that Georgia game. That Georgia game was one of his best games this year. And everybody know what Georgia defense bringing. I mean, you got Keely Ringos. You got this guy, Nolan Smith. I mean, you got Jalen Carter's. I mean, they got a plethora of talent, but this kid was able to throw for 2,500 yards, 17 touchdowns. Yeah, he had 9 interceptions, but he was able to run for 650 yards as well. If you can bring that to the Houston Texans team with a DeMeco Ryans leading the helm of this team, and we know how talented our defense was and how many games we lost last year that was one-score games, 3 points, 5 points, 7-point games that we could have won if we just had a competent quarterback in that situation. To be honest, you can bring Anthony Richardson in and start him midway through the season, and we could talk about him, I mean, being a long-term quarterback if you're being realistic. And that's only if you're in a situation where you take Willie Anderson at the number 2 pick, which I love Willie Anderson's generational pass rusher. He's going to be a generational pass rusher. Got to say that. But AR-15, I mean, go ahead, Spitz. Yeah.
No, because you say that because you say we're taking Willie Anderson there too. So if you feel that AR-15 could possibly be the best quarterback in the draft, why not take him there too?
Because the upside. It depends. It all depends. Like I said, wait a minute. It all depends because it depends on what happens on the draft. Does a team trade up to the number 1's pick and they take Bryce Young? Because if that happens, then it's automatically Anthony Richardson for me, number 2.
Okay, let me ask, and this is to both of y'all. Do you think that AR-15 could be Cam Newton?
He could be better.
Yeah.
What?
He can. He can. Like it's not a
what?
It's not a stretch.
Yes, it is a stretch.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. There's no way. If you believe the AR-15 could be better, he needs to be the number 1 pick in the draft, hands down. Hands down.
I think Bryce is better. No, that's not true.
Cam Newton was the number 1 overall pick.
No, that was that draft.
Cam Newton went.
I don't put Cam Newton ahead of Bryce Young. So what are you saying?
Cam Newton.
I don't put Cam
what was rookie of the year, league MVP, and went to a Super Bowl. Come on, bro.
I do not put. I love Cam Newton. I have much respect. I live in Carolina. I've watched Cam Newton for years, bro. I put as a quarterback. I put C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young as overall like prospect.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with. I agree with that because they're bad pocket passers, and that's the reason why. AR-15 is not even on the level of Cam Newton from a passing standpoint.
We'll see. He ain't got there yet, so we don't know.
We ain't got to see. We already see. We did in Florida.
Okay. All right. That's
okay. I'm glad you said that.
Right now, yeah, of course.
I'm glad you said that because they both. Now, Cam Newton started 1 year at Auburn.
Right.
Played 14 games. Had 280 attempts. Completed 185 of his passes for 66.1%. 2,800 yards, averaging 10 yards per attempt, 30 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions.
That's pretty good.
AR-15 this past year was 53% for 2,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions.
Whoa. You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Stop with the slanders.
What slanders?
You slander.
I mean,
no, Cam Newton's about passing AR-15. Come on now.
I'm not talking about right now because at the end of the day, even Cam Newton had to work on things at the NFL level. So.
But as a prospect, Cam is a better prospect than AR-15.
Of course, if you ask, that's not the question that you asked.
I ain't gonna.
I'm asking, do you think he can be a better? Do you think he can be better than him?
Could he be a better player? You didn't say who was a better prospect coming out of college. That is not what you asked. Now, if you ask me, undoubtedly, it's Cam Newton.
Okay.
Who in their right mind is going to say otherwise?
Okay, okay. I can see that is fair. I did answer the question that way, but again, Cam Newton was a no-brainer of a number 1 overall pick in 2011.
Actually, no.
Oh, he wasn't.
I would have thought about taking Von Miller's number 1s. Me personally.
And Von Miller, because we had this conversation earlier off camera about Von and Will Anderson. Yeah. But no, Cam Newton was undoubtedly the number 1 overall pick, bro. Stop. Because remember,
because he was a one-man army. Because he was a one-man at Auburn.
There wasn't nobody at Auburn, and he won the national championship and won the Heisman.
I know. I was the biggest Cam Newton fan, bro. Remember, Florida, LSU, and Alabama at that time was like, they was playing. They was playing. Remember, I argued you, bro. I was like, what he did at Blinn mattered. I said,
it did. Yeah.
But it was JUCO.
Man, come on, man.
But he dominated.
It's JUCO. I went to Blinn. It's JUCO.
He dominated. That's what
I give you that, but it don't hold. To me, it don't hold weight. It don't hold weight because he played at the SEC. I believe what he did at Auburn holds way more weight than what he did at Blinn. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, that's just me.
Can't do that. Darius
agree with that.
South Carolina State. Terrell Owens, one-time HBCUs. Ultra singles HBCUs. I mean, Jerry Rice, HBCUs. Like, let's get
Ultra single also with the Oregon States. He also with the Oregon States. Yes.
And let's not talk about it. Let's talk about it. That nigga Randy Moss went to Marshall's universities. That nigga. No. Let's finish talking about it.
Okay, go ahead.
What's his name? Khalil Mack.
Went to Buffalo.
Went to Buffalo's. Like, come on.
Okay.
Say that. We can't. Most of them schools. Like, stop it. Blinn is nice. Blinn was one of the best JUCOs.
It's
If-
not. No, it's the big best JUCO. Yeah, it's the best JUCO.
Yeah.
It's the best JUCO.
So that's
There's
what
no
I'm
other proven
Yeah,
JUCO in the nation than Belen College, bro.
yeah. People come from all across the United States to play football in Blinn.
Yeah.
Like Blinn is the premier JUCO.
Basketball too. Because I had partners who even hooped there. But at the time, it's definitely
It's always football.
It definitely has a better football program than
it
basketball.
also has a pretty good baseball program as well too. The baseball program, the men's baseball program is pretty good too. But still though, I'm just saying for what he did. Okay, yeah. I mean, if you want to add what he did at Blinn, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying what he did at Auburn holds more weight, and he had a way better season in Auburn than AR-15 had at Florida. They both play on the same level.
100 more yards. I think the definitive thing is the passing touchdowns. It's not, and you know,
and the percentage.
The percentage. The passing percentage. Okay, passing percentage and the touchdown. The yards were about damn near the same thing. I mean, so
Cam had 300. He had 300 more yards. Well, go ahead, Wise.
And another thing, this is why this is going to be a good video, because Wise actually pay attention. We're not going to act like, we're really not going to sit up here and act like when Cam Newton was in Carolina for all that time, Carolina was trash for like 5 to 6 years, for like 7 years.
Well, no. Well, to be fair to Cam Newton, when he came in, he threw like 800 yards like his first 2 games. Like I would say he took them like 7 and 8, 8 and 8 the first season. The second season, the 12th season, I forgot what they won. I want to say they went 7 and 9. The 13th season, they went 12 and 4. The very next year, they went to the playoffs after that. I want to say they went 7, 8 and 1, and that was after he had a car accident, flipped over. Bro, this is what let me know that fucking Cam Newton was a real dude, bro.
Yeah.
Had a car accident, flipped over on the ground, bro. Got a cast protector around his ribs and won every single game. Went to the playoffs only to lose to the Seahawks because they was the team. And then from that point on, he went to the league the very next year, bro, and they just started getting double-digit wins. They going to the playoffs. They was beating the Cardinals, and then the season after that, bro, it was off the races. They went 15-1.
He won MVP, won Offensive Player of the Year. What you mean stop? But
his overall records 76, 71. He had 500 quarterbacks in it
because he's not a polished passer, and that's the reason why I agree with Wink about that. That CJ and Bryce are better passers. I agree with that sentiment, but the thing,
AR-15 too.
You can't discount.
AR-15 is not a better passer. No, stop that. You stop that. There's no way AR-15 is nowhere near the good passer that Cam in. Cam not even a good passer.
Another thing you can't discount
Stop.
Over that time period. Another thing you can't discount over that time period. The NFC was way harder, and plus the NFC South, and from 2011 to about 2016 was one of the hardest divisions to win in. You know what I'm saying, bro? They had
Pete Matt Ryan. You had Drew Brees. You had Pete Matt Ryan, Drew Brees. Yeah.
The Falcons and them Saints teams over that time period, bro, was loaded. You talking about loaded? Yeah,
because then the division won what? Went back with the division with the back-to-back Super Bowls had back-to-back MVPs. Because remember, the following year after Cam loses to the Broncos, Matt Ryan was the MVP, and the Falcons go to the Super Bowl and lose to the Patriots. So they always had deep runs in the playoffs. The only team that really wasn't all that was Tampa.
Was Tampa at that time? And because they were trying to rebuild, because they had that I forget what was his name, Josh Freeman.
Josh Freeman.
Guys, Josh Freeman, Mike Glennons, and they had a lot of projects that they had used over time. A bunch of dudes that they were just bringing in and out. They had horrible signings. They had horrible cap situations, and then they finally ended up getting Jameis Winston. You know what I'm saying? In that situation, he played as well as he could under the circumstances. But even still, they didn't really get it all together until Bruce Arians went back recently a few years ago, and they got Brady only to win the Super Bowl the moment that he got there. So, like, the NFC South has been a very hard division until recently. You know what I'm saying? Can they go back up? But like Cam Newton was in the thick of the division when it was hard. That's why I say, like, when he was winning, Like he went through hell to win in that division. I was watching them games like in real time on the tube, man, and it was not easy for because they defenses was live, and they had pretty good offenses.
I say all of that to make a point and just to basically say Anthony Richardson will be in a better situation than Cam Newton in Carolina, being with the Houston Texans. He had Ron Rivera as his head coach. Ron Rivera's, Riverboat.
The defensive minded coach like DeMeco.
Yeah. I mean, DeMeco, we can say that with DeMeco, but
Right.
like I said, if you have a Cliff Kingsbury and you bring him with a veteran quarterback, bring him along slowly, you help him work and keep developing his footwork. You help him be able to read defenses. You show him how to be a pro for a year, and then you unleash him, bro. In this division, we all talked about this. It don't matter what quarterback you bring in here. You're gonna be able to beat Jacksonville. We still gonna be able to sweep Jacksonville.
You're gonna be
able
to
beat the Titans every year, and we're gonna be able to beat the Colts.
Yeah.
All these teams is weak in this division. This division is winnable every single year. At the end of the day, as long as we got the defense to compete and we got the run game. And
you only need to sweep one team. Only need to sweep one team. You can split with maybe one other team. I mean, if you can sweep two teams, then perfect. And you split with one, that's fine. Or you tie, that puts you in a whole nother different situation because it makes your percentage look better. But overall, bro, the AFC South, bro, right now, we know if we had, bro, we easily could have won this division had Davis Mills played up to snuff and threw like a touchdown and threw like 5 less interceptions in so many games, bro. It was so many games that was well within 3 points, a touchdown, 8 points, well within a one scoring drive where we could have won. Him and Pep Hamilton were huge problems. We understand that we had some protection issues in the interior. But I think for a team that was built the way that we had this past season, AR-15 fits that mold a little bit more because he had more mobility, he had more plays, he was going to be harder to take down, and he was going to be able to create more, and then he was going to make that running game way more lethal with Damian Pierce the way that he was running the ball. So I definitely would see them taking more chances in a situation, but he also would be at more risk because the interior was so porous as far as the blocking was concerned. So maybe guys he could have reached guys and he would have been able to renew some guys in the season at some points. But overall, a team going forward, if he was to go with the Texans, especially considering with the mock draft that we did on the Sauce, shout out to that, shout out to the Sauce Sports. So y'all make sure y'all check that video out. If we had a draft similar to that with the Avila pick, with the Dale pick, with the Laporta, and the A.T. Perry pick, he could show his ass right away. For one, he doesn't have any weapons. He's never had any weapons like that. And for him to be able to work with those guys, we already see his work ethic. He's already putting stuff in the lab because he wants to prove the haters wrong. Dudes like that always seem to show up at the next level. They just always do. You just don't. When you see these guys working, and then when they get into a situation and, as long as they're in the right situation, I won't even say the right situation. The right situation is when the organization and the head coach believes in you. That is the right situation. That's always the right situation.
I just think that at the end of the day, that because he is nowhere near the polished passer that Cam is, and like I agree, I don't think that I don't think Cam is nowhere near the polished passer. And even as his career went on to the NFL, he's nowhere near the polished passer that I believe Bryce and CJ are as of right now. Absolutely. Cam wasn't even that when he's on the NFL level winning MVPs. Right. It's not on that level. It is absolutely, in my personal opinion, absolutely foolish.
Absolutely.
To pass on those two guys for AR-15.